Welcome everyone to Dead Talk Live. I'm your host Viz from Walking Dead Now. Want to welcome all of our viewers tonight. If you're joining us for the first time, please visit our website at deadtalklive.com to find out all the information about our show. And as always, please visit our YouTube channel, which is called Walking Dead Now. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Tonight, Marko is going to be handling the Instagram chats, and Saz is going to be handling YouTube, Facebook, and the Twitter chats. So how is everyone doing tonight? A happy Thursday evening to everyone. Gypsy Road is with us on YouTube. Summer is with us. Andrew is with us. Montre is with us saying hello. Welcome, Montre. Rixer is with us. Declan is with us. Hey, Declan, how are you doing? On Instagram, we have Her88 waving at us. Cham, Badram, Kestevaris, sorry. Probably pronounced that wrong anyways. CC Wheezy is with us. Nerdiest Geek saying hello. Hello, Nerdiest Geek. I am ALX, sorry, is saying hi. Cham, hello. Kimmy has joined us on Instagram. 7EV has joined us on Instagram. AMX, there's the AMX, saying, have any mental health advice? I'm the wrong person to be asking about that. Mariana Rodriguez is joining us on Instagram. 7EV is waving at us. Maud is waving at us, waving right back at you guys. Addison is with us. Brissa is with us. Brissa is waving at us. Toby is with us. Evan Christian has joined us. Maud is saying, hey, Maud Moises is joining us. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. Andres is with us on YouTube saying hello. Hello, Landa from Facebook. I hope you're doing well, Landa. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. We're almost to the weekend. JB Hernandez is waving at us on Instagram. Hey, JB. Gypsy is saying, thanks for the email. I'm glad. I hope it helped, and I'm looking forward to seeing it if it happens. So let's see. JV Diamo is from Brazil, and he's joining us. So Brazil is in the house. Mara has just joined us on Instagram. Welcome, Mara from Instagram. Rixer writes, have a nice apocalyptic day. Summer says, like that shirt. Yes, this is my red Walking Dead fiery shirt that sort of glows with the CGI background. It makes it look like I'm on fire. Maud says, we want season 11. We got to get through season 10 first. All these people, all you guys are like so anxious for season 11, which I'm going to get to here in a little bit. But let's get through season 10. Let's get through season 10. Season 11 is not even being filmed. And we're going to get to that bit in just a few seconds. UI saying hello from Facebook. Welcome, UI. Gypsy says, it's going to happen, my brother, and I will be doing a horror show. I'm looking forward to watching it. Just don't do it, that early. Remember, I get up in the afternoon because I'm up till the morning. Lara is with us on YouTube. Hello, Lara. Lara says, I love The Walking Dead. Dylar is with us on Facebook, saying Negan. We have a lot of new viewers, and like I said, guys, if you want all the information about our show, please visit our website. It's deadtalklive.com. And while we're on the subject of the website, I'd love for you guys to submit media to us if you come across a video or a picture that is related to The Walking Dead or horror or anything that you like. You can submit it at that website at the bottom. Here's a little shortcut to the submission form at the bottom. It's the same website. It's just at the bottom of it. It's submit.deadtalklive.com. And if you do submit someone else's video, please tell us the name of the person whose video it is. Please don't claim it's your own. Please, 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 please don't do that. Toby and Chloe is with us on YouTube saying, hey. Dialar on Facebook says, I missed The Walking Dead. Let's see. Elza on Instagram is saying, hello. Hello, Elza. Doubleback says, hi, everyone. How's your day going today? My day is going pretty good. Hope your day is going well. Doubleback. Glenn Martin 478 has joined us. Now C has joined us. Mark Atkin has joined us on Instagram. Pablo is with us on Facebook from Peru. Peru's in the house. Nordic97 on YouTube. Hello. Laura says, my mother loves you. Well, tell your mom I love her right back. UY says, I'm a fan of The Walking Dead since high school. That is awesome. Let's see. Tupeka has joined us. Chavez is 722 has joined us. Giza has joined us on Instagram. JV says, what do you think about the ending of season 10? We have to wait and see it. We have a whole bunch of theories we've been discussing over the last couple of months. But in the end, we're not going to know until we see that finale. Now, going to the question of season 11, okay? There is, from a reliable source, who's a part of our team, that heard that filming for season 11 is not going to resume again till sometime in October. Okay? This is not official. It's from a reliable, source, from someone inside our team here, that filming for season 11 is not going to resume again until the fall. October is what I heard. So, as far as the timeline goes for when we're actually going to see the premiere of season 11, I put it anywhere between June to October of 2021. So it's going to be a long time, guys. So everyone who's asking about season 11, Lonnie from North Carolina is joining us on Facebook. Welcome, Lonnie. So everyone who's asking about season 11, it's going to be a long time, guys. With the pandemic and everything that got stopped, and it's just a mess out there. From the rumor that we heard, hopefully they do start filming in October. Marko, our executive producer, does not think they're going to do a summer release of The Walking Dead, which would be the earliest if they do start filming in October. He thinks they're just going to push it back a whole year. And we're going to see season 11 of The Walking Dead in October of 2021, which is a good, 15 months away. So all you guys that are asking about season 11, it's going to be a while. So let's just look forward to this finale, because after this finale, we are not going to see, the original Walking Dead TV show, a new episode for quite a while. We're not going to see it for a while. And Armida on Facebook is asking, how about the season 10 finale? We have no word on that yet. Comic-Con is starting in 2 weeks from today. And the Walking Dead panel is going to appear that Sunday. So my guess is we're going to get a date for the finale of season 10 of The Walking Dead in 2 weeks from this Sunday, when the Walking Dead panel is going to go virtual at Comic-Con. That's not confirmed. That's a pretty good guess that come 2 weeks from this Sunday, we are going to have a date for the finale. I know we're all anxious, but we all got to keep in mind that after we see this finale, we're not going to have a new episode for a while. It's going to be shows like this, reruns, that's going to keep The Walking Dead fresh in our minds and hearts until we actually do get a new episode again. So, and it brings me to my next point. I really do encourage you guys who have not watched Fear the Walking Dead, or you've started to watch it and you stopped. I want to emphasize the point that it really has become a good show. Just don't compare it to The Walking Dead. I keep saying that over and over again. Don't measure Fear the Walking Dead up against The Walking Dead. Yeah, we have crossover characters and some mixing of the storylines, but you gotta judge Fear on its own merits. And it really has become a very, very good show. So if you started and stopped, I encourage you to resume again. If you never started it, start it. We're going to be starting season 6, hopefully within the next month or so. That has been filmed. At least the first half of season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead has been filmed. So we do have that to look forward to. And then this fall, probably when The Walking Dead season 11 would have started, if everything was normal, we are going to get the premiere of The Walking Dead World Beyond, which is going to be a limited 2-season series, and it's going to be very critical to what's going to happen in the Rick Grimes movies. So, I definitely encourage you guys to watch that as well. So, as far as the Walking Dead universe goes, we are going to have a lot of stuff to watch. But as far as the Walking Dead original show, we just have this finale that we're waiting for, and then we're not going to see an episode for another year. So let's see what's going on. Let's see. Gypsy Road writes, it is what it is. Andrew writes, that's unfortunate, but everyone's safety is the most important thing. Nordic97 on YouTube writes, as long as they put season 10 on Netflix, I'm fine for the next 2 years. Yes. Now, normally they would put the season that ended just before the new season begins. Obviously, with what's going on this year, I don't think that's going to happen. Season 10 is probably going to be premiering sometime this fall on Netflix, is my guess. Just going on what's happened in the past. Pablo from Facebook writes Lucille. Laura writes Bebe. Lonnie from Facebook writes, Fear the Walking Dead is good. I hated when they killed one of my favorite actors on it, but Fear the Walking Dead is totally worth it. It gets crazy. I absolutely agree with you, Lonnie. I absolutely agree with you. We have a whole bunch of new people that joined us on Instagram. I'm seeing you guys. I see you coming in. I paused the chats to not miss anything you guys say. 7EV writes, wow, that's really a long time. It is. Let's see what else is going on. JV Diamo writes, did I see the comics? I have read bits and parts. I have not read the comics from start to finish. We're actually going to talk a little bit about the comics here in a few seconds as well. Carly has joined us on Instagram. Math has given us a smiley love face. Dial Nichols has joined us. Don't worry, you're not late, Dial. You're fine. CC Wheezy writes, I started watching the series from the beginning again. Yep, it never gets old. It never gets old. 7EV writes, I watched the whole Walking Dead from the beginning 2 times. That's awesome. Sia1514 has given us a smiley love face, just joined us on Instagram. Toby writes, I just finished Fear the Walking Dead today. Awesome, so you are all caught up there, Toby. Leonard has joined us on Instagram. Kaiko has joined us. 100Q has given us smiley love faces. Bruna has given us smiley love faces. I love those Instagram floating hearts, guys. Keep them coming. I've said it before. I love the Instagram floating hearts. Let's see. JV writes, Morgan is a really good character in Fear. He is, and he makes a great lead actor in a show. Lenny James, who plays Morgan, he's amazing. Mary, hello, Mary61 Mom. Negan is laughing. So let's get on to the next bit of news here. For those of us who are big Chandler Riggs fans, Carl, and I think we're all, Carl fans, he's in a movie on Netflix that's called Only. And along with Chandler, there are two former saviors from The Walking Dead in the movie as well. If you guys remember, the character is Jared. He was the long-haired guy, who was kind of a prick, who was played by the great Joshua Michael. He's the one that shot Henry's brother in the leg, and Henry bled out. And then Gavin. If you guys remember Gavin was the one that young Henry killed towards the end of season 8. When Morgan and Carol took the kingdom back from the saviors, and Gavin was like one of the last ones standing, and little Henry comes up from behind him and kills him. And the look on Morgan and Carol's faces when he did that, it broke their hearts. Alexandra Lund is with us on Facebook. Joy Dye says, Rick is the best leader for me, and I love Carol too. Right with you there, Joy. Lonnie on Facebook writes, I just watched that the other day. Awesome. Jose on Facebook writes, it seems that The Walking Dead forward and back numerous times. So you definitely binge watched it back and forth. That's awesome. Nordic on YouTube writes, Gavin was one of Negan's lieutenants. Yes, he was. And he was the collector that would visit Ezekiel in the kingdom and, get their tribute from the kingdom, if that's what you want to call it. Let's go to Instagram here. Mary61 Mom has given us 3 love hearts. Thank you, Mary. What else did I miss? So, yeah, if you guys want your Chandler Riggs fix, the movie's on Netflix, and it's called Only. So, Chandler Riggs is in that movie. Movie theaters are slowly starting to reopen. But as you can expect, turnout is very low. New Jersey still actually has a ban on the reopening of movie theaters, and they're in the process of getting sued by several movie studios, arguing that if churches and other gathering places are allowed to open, why are movie theaters not allowed to open? But whether they open or not, people are not going to the movies just yet. So yeah, they're opening back up in some states. Other states are still closed. I don't know. Just thought I'd let you guys know about that. But New Jersey's all over the news because they're getting sued left and right by all the movie studios for actually having a ban on movie theaters opening up again. PBFO on Instagram saying hello. Hello, PBFO. I Am is giving us a thumbs up. Welcome, I Am. So we got that. Now to the comic question. As we all know on the TV show, Rick left for those of you that don't know, in the comic books, Rick lost his right hand to the governor very, very early on, like in issue number 28 of the comic books. And it was the governor who took his hand after Rick refused to give up the location of his camp. The governor cuts off Rick's hand. And as we all know on the TV show, Rick left the show after 9 seasons with all his limbs intact. But even Andrew Lincoln did make a push for them to take Rick's hand like they did in the comic books. But apparently, according to, the production team, the practicalities surrounding the action sequences that would have been involved in Rick losing his hand on the TV series were too challenging at the time. So they decided not to go that route. And Rick was able to keep his hand. So that's a deviation there from the comics. I don't know how many of you guys knew that or not, but Rick, very early on in the comic books, lost his hand. Hey, Fabrine on YouTube. Sorry, we don't have any info on episode 16 yet. Nordic97 writes on YouTube, they were going to do that on the show, but it would cost so much money to do the CGI, they didn't bother with it. Yeah, that's practically what they're saying here as well. Because Rick was not like Herschel, who got written off the show halfway through season 4. If they took Rick's hand off in season 3, then for every episode moving forward for the next 6.5 years, that would have been a challenge to film, and it would have been expensive. It would have been expensive with all the special effects that they would have to do, all the action sequences that would have to have been filmed with Rick missing a hand, and so on. Rhea from Facebook writes, Rick Grimes is the best ever. I agree. I love Rick Grimes. Marko writes, I guess that is why they passed the torch to Aaron's character by losing his arm. Yep. And we all know on the show, other characters suffer the same fate that they suffered in the comic books. AMX writes, Rick would look pretty cool with a metal arm. Like a Merle. So, did you like Merle's metal arm there, AMX? CC Wheezy writes, yep, the governor was much more ruthless in the comic books. And he was pretty ruthless on the TV show as well. Abraham, we talked about next season. It's not going to be coming out for at least another 15 months. So even Robert Kirkman himself has come out and said that he does regret not working that into the storyline where Rick lost his hand. So, but anyway, it is what it is. Personally, I'm glad that Rick got to keep all his digits. I'm glad Rick got to keep all his digits. AMX writes, yeah, I guess I really did like Merle's metal arm. All right. You can say all you want about Merle, but that rig he had for the arm was pretty badass. So I actually found another cool article. This is not an article as it is more pictures. Let me go ahead and bring that up here. So give me 1 second. All right, there we go. So what this is about is these are the real life partners of the stars of the show. And they have some really cool pics. So if you guys were wondering what our characters' better halves look like, we'll take a look right now. And let's see, the first one on the list, Carrie Payton, who is married to Stacy Reed Payton. So here's the king and his queen in real life. They make a nice looking couple right there. Next on the list, Stephen Yen and Joanna Park. Stephen was born December 21st, 1983 in South Korea. I didn't realize he was still that young. I mean, that puts him at what, 37? Wow. Still a young man. And then, of course, we've got J.D. Morgan and his beautiful wife, Hillary Burton. Wait, her name is not Hillary, it's Haley. Her name? At least she goes by Haley. Maybe it really is Hillary and she just goes by Haley. But I'm pretty sure her name was Haley. But there they are, Negan and his wife. Let's see who else we have here up next. Christian Serratos, the beautiful Christian Serratos and her longtime boyfriend. Christian was born September 21st, 1990. Oh man, so she's only 30 years old in California. She started her career in 2004. And let's see who's up next. Alana Masterson with Brooks Doyle. The beautiful Tara. Alana Masterson. She is a beautiful woman. She really is. Let's see. Lauren Cohen began dating Christian Carino, but they've split up. So I guess Lauren Cohen is available. Cohen was born January 7th, 1982 in Philadelphia. Wow. I didn't know she was U.S. born. Obviously, she was raised in England, but she's born in Philly. I did not know that. I did not know Maggie was born in Philly. Let's see who else we have up here next. We have, that's Lori. Kaylee's married Josh Winterholt. I didn't recognize her there for a second. She looks good. She was born June 1st. That's Marko's birthday, too. In 1977. Let's see. Emily McKinney. Beth is dating Paul McDonald. Emily, born August 15th, 1985. August 15th is 3 days after my birthday. Next. And then, of course, Norman Reedus with Diane Kruger. They make a good-looking couple. Reedus, born January 6, 1969. And he, of course, is known for his role as Daryl Dixon on The Walking Dead. Let's see if we're coming to the end of the list here or not. And then we have Rick, Andrew Lincoln, who's married Gail Anderson. Andrew Lincoln's full name is Andrew James Clutterbuck, born on the 14th of September, 1973. So he is 11 months older than me. All right, Rick Grimes is 11 months older than me. That's pretty cool. And that's it. All right. I didn't know the list was going to be that long. But, a little info there, guys. You guys got to see, our characters' better halves in real life. Let's see what's going on Instagram. Abraham writes, Glenn's death is still unbelievable. It hit us all hard. Kimmy writes, it is Hillary. All right, so it's my bad. Does she go by Haley? Because I could have sworn she went by Haley. Renang is from Brazil and is joining us from Instagram. AMX writes, yep, I guess I did. I paused the scrolls. I already read that one. Let's see what else is going on. Kimmy says no. Andrew Valentine says hey and is waving at us. Hey, Andrew, thank you for joining us. Zambika says it's storming where she's at. So the internet is cutting out. So good night, Zambika. Thank you for stopping by. Stay safe. Kimmy writes, not only Hillary from One Tree Hill. CC Weezy writes, yeah, Marco, I was being kind by a year. Let's see what else is going on YouTube. Hard Productions is joining us. Gypsy Road says, I'm eating my spaghetti that I just made. So let's move on, guys. Let's see if we're done with the announcement so we can go to our topic tonight. And we're going to be talking about Negan tonight. I read a very interesting article last night. They listed 5 reasons why Negan is such a great leader, and 5 reasons that Negan is just a flat out terrible leader. And I can probably myself count more than 5 for either scenario. Ma has joined us on Facebook. Welcome, Ma. So let's get to that article. Let me bring that up here. And let's see what they have to say about Negan as a leader. This ought to be interesting. So here we go. 5 reasons that Negan is a better leader than Rick, and 5 reasons he's terrible. All right, let's start off with number 10. Negan's group was a stronger functioning society. I agree with that. And the reason with that is because it was a dictatorship, as opposed to the communities where it was run more kind of a democracy with their council and all that stuff. Negan knew how to control his people, and they were afraid of him. And it goes on to say that Rick has been a steady leader throughout the series, but his location, his group size, and their level of comfort has always been in constant state of fluctuation. Negan's saviors were a larger, more successful group than any that Rick had ever led up to that point. All right, now, reason why he's a terrible leader. He relies on fear to keep order. Negan rules through fear. He demands loyalty and will accept nothing less. Breaking his trust results in punishment, and it usually isn't as simple as a quick death. That just wouldn't make as much of an impression on the rest of his followers, and it would leave him one man short. He prefers to keep order with the threat of pain, and his favorite method is the iron. He publicly burns the face of the offending member, then sends him off to be patched up by the doctor. It's an efficient deterrent, but loyalty from fear doesn't work forever. And it did not work for him. All right, number 8, better leader. He is always 2 steps ahead, and I don't think any of us can argue that Negan is extremely smart. And it goes on to say, they just said exactly what I just said. I did not read that from here, guys. It can't be argued that Negan isn't a very smart man. He always keeps himself 2 steps ahead of his opponents, if not a few more, just to be safe. He has proven himself as a great strategic thinker when it comes to leadership and all-out war. And it's difficult to double-cross him without him suspecting it first. Negan is great at reading people and has a poker face that puts professional players to shame. He knows when to explode with emotion and when to keep his thoughts and suspicions under wraps. Rick isn't unintelligent, but he doesn't have quite the level of cunning that Negan does. So what do you guys think about that? Rick does not have the level of cunning that Negan has. I think overall, we can all agree with that. That scene where Negan is undressing for Alpha, where he thought she was going to whack him, but they ended up having that strange sex scene. that we're not going to get into right now. As he's taking off his clothes, he tells Alpha, he goes to her, I became a monster because that's what the world needed at the time. And he did. He did become a monster, and he played that role very, very well. Too well. And Rick, we've seen the monster side of Rick come out plenty of times. And the most prominent one, I still say, is with Gareth from Terminus. I have never seen the even when Negan killed Abraham and Glenn, the look in Rick's eyes to find out what those Terminus people were doing, and he had to be talked down from wanting to go back and kill them all, which he did eventually end up doing anyways. But, Rick does have that monster side in him as well. But the difference between Rick and Negan is that you look at Negan and he enjoyed it. He enjoyed playing the role of the monster. And even to this day, when we're starting to see the good in Negan himself, the times that he gets to act out like a jackass, it's just part of his core personality. But he's not a monster. We're learning that now. He's not a monster. And like he told Alpha, he told her the world needed a monster, and that's what he had to become to get that group of saviors together and restore some kind of peace and order. And he did it the only way he thought he could, which, whether you agree with it or not, that is exactly what he did. Let's see what's going on Instagram. AMX writes, in that scene, my eyes were blessed and then scared. Sorry. Malik Faravivos writes, hi from Argentina. Welcome, Malik from Argentina. Marko writes, that was his angriest season. Season 5, yeah. Rick was that was his angriest right then and there. Kenny Gold is with us on YouTube saying hello. Hard Productions on YouTube writes, I agree with that. Debbie from Facebook saying Rick should come back. Debbie, Rick is coming back in the movies. We're not going to be seeing Rick again on the TV series, but we are going to get to see plenty of Rick in the movies. So let's get back to the article. And let's see what's next on the list here. Terrible leader reason. His harem. Oh, God, his wives. His harem causes tension. And guys, don't think for 1 second that his wives were an accident. He had all those wives to basically thumb his nose into everyone else's face and punish the men by taking their wives or girlfriends or whatever. And we all know that they wanted to kill him, but Eugene could not do it. But anyway, they go on to say no matter how much he brags that his wives are with him voluntarily, or how much emphasis he puts on the importance of consent, it doesn't change the fact that these women are only with him because they have been coerced. They do want, sorry, this is poorly written. They do what they do because they want safety for themselves and their loved ones. Negan takes joy in goading the ex-husbands and of his partners, which is what I just said, and regularly taunted Dwight about his sex life with Dwight's wife, Sherry, essentially stealing wives and keeping their partners around is abusive, outright cocky, and a mutiny just waiting to happen. And just to touch on that, Negan really did love to toe the line as to how far he could even push his own people. which really surprises me that he was shocked that Dwight would turn against him. He burned his face. He took his wife. He ridiculed him left and right. He threw the fact that he took his wife into his face almost every day. And then he gets upset that Dwight betrays him. That's just not very smart there, if you ask me. So, anyway, Farid is joining us and is giving us a thumbs up. Welcome, Farid, on Instagram. And I think my Instagram feed froze here. Let me reopen that up. So let's get on to the next thing, guys. Let's see. Number 6. He is extremely charismatic. Leaders need to know how to inspire their people and boost morale. Charisma and overconfidence is contagious, and Negan has both in spades. The man can give a rousing speech, and he knows it. He can turn off the big, scary bully persona and flip the switch to a smiling, boisterous leader that knows just how to get the saviors pumped up and feeling pretty darn badass about themselves. He does. And how many times any of you guys watch Game of Thrones or any kind of movie like that? In fact, my family right in the next room right now, they're rewatching Gladiator. And what's like the most important thing, if you guys seen any of those kind of movies, is the leader. Right before they go into battle, to give that speech that just gets his army all riled up and ready to fight and basically give up their lives. And Negan knew how to play that. He knew exactly which buttons to push. But then again, we do have that side of him that was a cocky bastard. And he pushed his luck, and he pushed it a little too far. Dominic on YouTube says Negan is a funny villain. CJ with us on Facebook writes, I basically stopped watching when Negan started. I'd watch the commercials, and that was it. All right, that's interesting, CJ. When Negan came on at the end of season 6 and into season 7, season 7 was kind of hard to watch. Seeing, Negan with his boot on everyone's throat and them having to take it, that's what made season 7 so hard to watch. But for me, season 8 is one of my top favorite seasons. I loved All Out War. I thought it was fascinating. I loved how it started with the action, and it never really let the foot off the gas. But, Marko kind of feels the same way, CJ. For Marko, one of the seasons that he's probably seen the least, he was telling me before the show today, is season 7. Because it is so hard to watch. Let's see what's going on Instagram. AMX writes, I love Dwight in Fear the Walking Dead. I don't know if you heard AMX, but AMC submitted Emilio's name for an Emmy consideration because he was so great in Fear. Still is so great in Fear. Let's see. Andrew Valentine writes, yes to season 8. Andrew agrees. Andrew liked season 8. I love season 8. So let's get on with this list. I want to get through this list before our episode ends tonight. Number 5, terrible leader. His rules are not clear. Don't know if I agree with that. Negan seems to have only one demand: complete and utter devotion without question at any given moment. It's difficult to run a large group without an agreed upon way of life and goals to meet other than do what I say when I say it, and severe corporal punishment without a clear set of rules is just setting up people for failure. Negan required that the Saviors work where they were told to work and contribute to the group, but the Sanctuary definitely could have used a proper rule book. I guess. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Let's see what number 4 is. This is why he's a better leader. He isn't afraid to let people join them. Well, he isn't afraid to let people join them who he can use and get benefit from. Should be the better title for that one. Safety comes in numbers, but many groups introduced throughout the series have been hesitant to let others join them, and rightfully so. The zombie apocalypse is a dangerous and untrustworthy world. That said, living in tiny groups isn't exactly safe either. Negan, on the other hand, loved recruiting new members, and all he required was loyalty for those who wanted to join up. Negan viewed every able body as a resource, and with every new set of hands, there were more people working, building, and fighting for him. The more people, the stronger group, the better the life. Now, hold on a second. Hold on. Am I missing something? I did not agree with that part at all. Besides Eugene, who he took against his will because he can make bullets, and Daryl, who he kidnapped and tried to break. Am I missing someone? Who else willingly did we see him accept into the Saviors? Am I missing anyone here? Because I don't see the point they're trying to make in that part of the article. Amelia Rose from YouTube is AMX. AMX has flipped from Instagram to YouTube. Welcome, Amelia. Thorgon9 is with us on Instagram. Eugene set him up with the dodgy ammunition. Yes. Dwight, no loyalty. Simon, no loyalty. Sasha, Marko writes Sasha maybe? No, the question I'm asking, guys, that part of the article stated that Negan willingly took in members into the Saviors. And I cannot think of anybody where that happened willingly, where someone from any of the communities, went to the sanctuary, knocked on their gates and said, you know what, I want to join you guys. Am I missing someone? Because I don't remember a single one. All I know is Eugene got kidnapped because he can make the bullets. Sasha got caught when her and Rosita tried to break in to kill Negan. And Daryl got kidnapped as well during the night when Abraham and Glenn were killed to make sure he kept the Alexandrians in line. So, I don't know. I really don't see anybody else that at least we saw on screen that willingly went and joined the Saviors. Amelia, a.k.a. AMX, writes, maybe they were referring to Gregory. Oh, please. Gregory's a weasel. If they are, that's a piss poor example on their part. Andrew writes, I think he wanted Carl. Oh, I definitely agree with that. Thorgon also writes, Gabriel was also kidnapped. So he was very good at kidnapping people and then trying to turn them into saviors. But he definitely wanted Carl. Negan really did respect Carl. And when he said in that one episode that he had plans for Carl to take over one day, he meant it. That was not bull. He really, really, really meant it. In fact, I would say Carl, during the whole season 7 and season 8, is the one character that he really had a profound respect for from the Alexandria side. So, yeah, well, I guess I wasn't wrong because nobody can come up with an answer either. So, Anyway, let's move on to the next one, guys. Number 3, terrible leader. There isn't enough reward for his followers. The problem with the sanctuary is the problem with any overpowered government. At some point, it's just not an equally beneficial relationship anymore. Negan is the king of the castle. He collects taxes, his word is law, and he demands respect without having to give it back. His followers receive his protection, but oftentimes it's not through him. Rather, it's safety from him. They earn rewards for especially good behavior, but it feels more like prisoners earning meager privileges in a jail setting rather than a functioning society. Loyalty without proper reward just begs for a revolt. Now, with that, I absolutely agree. Kenny Gold on YouTube writes, "You nailed it." Landa on Facebook writes, "Negan actually cried when Carl died." And also, going to Carl for a second, Rick used Carl, at the end of All Out War to actually get Negan to drop his guard enough for Rick to slice his throat. Which is kind of damn, that was your son type of thing, but I guess he had no other, he didn't have any other choice. He told him Carl wanted this, Carl said we could live together, and then he sliced his throat open, but he did save his life. He did save him. Kuani is with us on YouTube. Matt is waving at us on Instagram. Welcome, Matt. Andrew writes, "Big time agree." Kimmy writes, "He did take people who didn't have anyone else, but not from Alexandria." Alright, so let's move on. We only have 2 left to go on this article, and we're running out of time. Let me bring it up. So number 2 on the list is he does the dirty work himself. That's questionable. If nothing else, Negan has always led by example, and he never asks for anything that he isn't willing to do himself. True. He makes the tough choices that puts the average person's morals at risk, and he's the first in line to do the dirty work. He is not a coward that just sits back and lets his people fight for him without being willing to put himself into the mud himself. That is absolutely 100% accurate. He will go toe-to-toe with anyone that threatens their way of life, and he will make an example of them by his own hand. So, no argument there. He definitely is not a Gregory. A Gregory who never even killed a walker. That kind of Gregory. He puts himself out there, and you got to give credit when Simon tried. You got to give credit to Negan when Simon tried to take over. He's like, "Hey, you want to be the man? You got to beat the man," and he gave him a chance. And Simon lost. Negan beat him fair and square, even though Simon started the fight with his little cheap ass, punch right there. I don't know how many of you guys remember that scene. But let's go ahead and finish this article because we are running out of time here. And the number one reason that he's a terrible leader, he is just too goddamn arrogant. Confidence is key, but arrogance has its limits, and Negan pushes it. He commands absolute devotion and will do whatever he has to in order to keep it. Usually this means regularly humiliating his biggest allies, such as Dwight, Simon, and Gregory, just to keep them in their place. What he fails to realize is that there are times when that tactic has the opposite effect. He makes his closest followers feel used, shamed, and eager for the chance to fight back. So there you guys have it. Princess on Instagram writes, love it. IQ on Instagram says hello. Hello, IQ. So there you guys have the 5 reasons, at least according to that article, on what makes Negan a great leader, and 5 reasons that on what makes Negan a terrible leader. There was some stuff in there I didn't quite agree with. A lot of stuff in there that I did agree with. A lot can be said about Negan. And in the final few minutes that we have here left, there's a lot of rumors going around the news blog circuit that J.D. Morgan is leaving the show. I just want everybody to know that is not confirmed. In fact, the only confirmed story that I have heard of is that Jeffrey Dean Morgan is still signed with AMC to do The Walking Dead for a few more years, at least well through season 11. So that article is not true. It's rumors. It's people stirring the pot. So don't believe it, okay? It's not official word. Metal Blade. Hey, welcome, Metal Blade on YouTube. Good to have you back. I wanted to tell you guys, anyone that comes across the article that says that Jeffrey Dean Morgan is leaving The Walking Dead, that is not confirmed in any way, shape, or form. The only official word that I know is that he is signed to do The Walking Dead for a couple more years. Now, that does not prevent him from doing another show. And we are out of time. And I do want to make a point that what is true is that Jeffrey Dean Morgan wants to be on this Amazon Prime show called The Boys for season 3, which is a year from now. But he can do that and do The Walking Dead. He never said he wanted to leave The Walking Dead. So I wanted to clear that up. We are out of time, guys. You guys have been amazing tonight, as every night. Thank you for everyone that's joined us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. More information, go to our website, deadtalklive.com. Go to our YouTube channel, which is called Walking Dead Now, and please subscribe. We also have a podcast that's called Stay Walking. Thank you so much. I'm on the air every night at 9:30 p.m. And until tomorrow night, guys, stay walking.